Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy December 1st.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Happy new moon, right?
Right. Happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I think we already said that, but
Happy
I think we did.
Thanksgiving and all this
New month,
new month,
new moon,
new moon.
pretty extraordinary energies coming through, feeling through. Do we take the time to? I think that's what we were kind of like guided to be here today. There's some like new, really some spectacular energies that we could kind of tune into that are new, I think,
Yeah.
that we really haven't in this ascension cycle. And we got to take the time to stop and receive a little bit, I think.
Being that
I was feeling that all
stillness.
morning. Like,
Yeah.
all the boys are getting kind of restless. They're like, it doesn't feel good for them to just relax and to receive the home cooking from their mother and all the turkey and all the thing. They're like, I got to be doing something. I got to be producing something. I got to, I'm like, just receive, just receive, just receive. And like, that was like a metaphor, I think, when I was just now kind of tuning in. Like, that's kind of where we are right now. Receive. What are we receiving? There's this energy of, we're moving into December, right? The energy of the Christ, the energy of the Christos. What is that energy? What is that frequency it's available to us that maybe hasn't been available to us in quite this before, 2000, right? between so now we have this energy there that's available to us. And I keep feeling like there's parts of us that are the Christ itself that's coming online or wanting to communicate or wanting to connect or wanting to for all of us to join during this period, during this next month in a new way. So I'm like, that's what I've been kind of playing with energetically, is what does that look like? How can we call on our Christ itself? How can we invite that merging or that part of ourselves that they're us, right? They're us from different time periods or from different lokas or different dimensions that are we're in that ascension phase. What is that ascension phase? Not just the frequency of raising our personal light bodies, right? There's also this aspect of the joining of our soul and oversoul and avatar Christ selves and all the different identities kind of starting to multidimensionally merge. And you might see yourself, the veils, the dreams becoming a little more real or a little bit more like, who's that? These things that are coming online that you're seeing between the veils and what's happening to me, right? What's happening to me is just this level of integration of invitation almost. It's like an invitation of our Christed selves and these different time frames to unite right now because that's what's kind of being called for
Yeah.
and activating the grid of the planet, activating the stargates, activating our own potentials here and now. So that's what kind of what come for me, honey.
Yeah. For me, it's been really fascinating. And there's been some ahas. When we do these videos, I post them online and sometimes, and we're working with a few people where we one-on-one, where we're giving them meditations every week and breath work every week. And it's really kind of a spiritual boot camp, kind of fast track. It's a very personal kind of 3-month process. And I have to go back and listen to these because it's like an alignment. And it's really, I'm so self-conscious of it, like to hear myself and watch myself. And I shared with Michael. So what's up for me is like really active listening. As I was like, wow, I'm always telling everybody what to do. I tell everybody what to do. I'm sharing information just like you, but you don't tell them what to do. I'm always telling them what to do. And I'm like, I don't want to tell anybody what to do. And I was really self-conscious. And it was great because it serviced to my growth and my higher self. And I'm like, the only person I want to tell what to do is you. We've got a good chuckle out of that. But it's really that active
We still
listening.
get a chuckle out of
Right.
it.
And and that you should do this and you should do that and you should do it's like, wow. So that's another layer for me of really just being present with the energy and the love and allowing the divine to do whatever it needs to do for anybody, including myself. So that's been really interesting. And the other part, and going back into that active listening, we had an experience, and I really attribute this to the work we did together as the group in the class. It was Thanksgiving morning. I went to yoga before making dinner for everyone, and I said to Michael before he left, hang on to the dog, like the foxes are mating. There's there's just a lot of, they're hungry. There's just a lot of animals around here. And I left. And usually in my practice, I'm so in my practice, I'm not even aware of the room or anybody in it. And I'm probably doing my own thing half the time, and I really don't care because it feels great to me. But I couldn't let go of this thought of Rada, our dog, our husky. And I went into this timeline where she was running and she was free, and Michael was distraught. And I was trying to push away. I'm like, why am I thinking this? This is my practice. This is your mind. Your mind's playing with you. Like this is chatter. And it wouldn't go away. And so finally I leaned into it and just thought, all right, I'm going to watch this movie. Like I just get information and just breathe with it. And it went all the way through my practice where she was running and she was hit by a car and she was in transition and it was her time to die. And I just surrendered it all to God and was like, okay, so maybe this is what's supposed to be, and just not blaming. And he was distraught. And so I came out of the practice and I really thought I'd go to my phone and get a message from Michael or see something, the dog, because she's microchipped so they could track her. And I didn't. And I was like, oh, wow, that was so weird, that my mind played that whole game on me. And so I came home, and as I'm pulling up, our neighbor Matt is pulling out of our driveway. And I'm like, hey, did Matt stop by to wish us a happy Thanksgiving? How nice of him. And Michael's like, yeah, he's such a great guy. And so I said, I had this really weird experience. I couldn't let it go. It was about Rada, and she got loose and she was running and she got hit by a car. And he looks at me and smiles and said, she did get loose and she did run. And he went out, were you with the trees, working energetically with the trees? And
I'll tell my story
okay,
after you.
okay. So
I'll add a little something.
long story short is she didn't get hit by a car and she was home when I got her. She was tired and wet. But I had tapped into a probability of something that was occurring simultaneously. And in the surrender of it and the active listening of just not panicking or trying to control it. But what I did was I put light there and I put love there and I called in guides and spirits and angels and just watched it like a movie. I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset with him. I wasn't upset with the dog. I was just like, what? So
She told me not to let go of the dog.
I told him what to do. See, he's understanding. It's going to take a lot of practice to get over that one.
She never tells me not to let go of the dog in the morning. She never tells me that. But sometimes, when she says these things, I hear it like quantum. Like, don't let go of the dog. I can't let go of the dog. I'm not gonna let go of the dog. Dog, I'm not letting go of you. So I'm walking her, and she's up here, and she's going here, she's sniffing here, she's everywhere, she's going everywhere. And we get to the place where she goes to the poopy. She still hasn't done her bathroom, right? I'm like, this is a little place where she's gonna do her poopy. So I let her go right at our house, and she runs into the bushes, and there's a deer there, right? I mean, we're literally 100 yards from our house, and she runs with the deer, and the freaking dog is gone. I'm so upset. Like she said, I'm freaking pissed off. And so you just, and I'm running around looking, and then beside myself, because in the back of my head, she said, don't let go of the dog. And I knew not to let go of the dog. I did. it's my fault, right? And she's gonna be upset. So I'm talking to the boys. I don't know if the dog's gonna come back or what's gonna happen, but man, just help and support me. And the dog's coming. So Matt comes up. I settle myself down a little bit to just kind of, okay, Mother Nature, help me out here. We got, we got all these trees. Let's communicate. Let's get the dog back here. So Matt opens the door. The dog runs into his truck. He grabs the truck. Dog gets out.
Matt's
The
a
name,
mile up, at
yeah,
least a couple miles up the road, by the way, way up in the woods. So she was running.
yeah. And she's happy. He's happy with me because well, he's just a good neighbor, right? He's a good neighbor. I would do that for you. I hope you do that for me. And the reason why I'm sharing this little bit is because there was such an anxiety there for me. And that anxiety was triggered by the dog. And I mean, after that whole day, I was on fire. I mean, literally burning up on the inside. And man, I did wind sprints up and down the hill to burn the energy because there was so much energy going through me. And what I got back from that, or what I learned from that situation, was there are levels of activation of the DNA. This happened on Thanksgiving Day, where this type of transition burns something away, and I can feel the 7th through 15th strands, frequencies, energies flowing through me now in a way that I couldn't before.
Yeah, me too.
There's a level of those frequencies, the 12D frequency and the 15th dimensional frequency, that's opened up in a new way. That's what I'm saying about, we were talking a little bit about these energies that are available to us right now that we can tap into and be present to. They're there when So if you go through some kind of triggering circumstance and it's the dog or your own self lunacy and you're burning up, firing up, and you can't understand what's happening to you, write it out, because something's being burned away. Something's being activated, and dog did her job. I was mad at her for 2 days, but she did her job. So
yeah, what was so divine about it happened for me while I was at yoga. So I wasn't here triggered with him with the kids, bringing that energy in the house. I burned through it through breath work, so it was really quite amazing. So
when you look at it from the standpoint of everything's perfect,
right,
as opposed to I'm an idiot and I shouldn't listen to my wife.
you should always listen to me. Shouldn't have let go of the dog. No, I'm just kidding.
I shouldn't have let go of it. I shouldn't have.
So
but
anyway,
I did.
but it was, yeah. So I say
I'm
that
wrong. I'm wrong in a third dimension, but
no,
the higher dimensions, I was kind of what it was wrote that. She learned. I learned what I learned. Right?
Yeah, and it goes back to that really active listening with yourself and with others and being present, and it's amazing. So anyway, so that was our little aha we had this week in talking about the energies, and we'll go into meditation. Thanks to those who signed up to be with us next weekend for the day. It'll be nice and juicy, and love doing this group work together. So it'll be a nice small group. You can sign up, and if you haven't, there's still time, but we look forward to it. And I'll put the link below when we repost this. So looking forward to being together. I'll send an email out with some instructions on how to prepare for that. So yeah.
That's going to be fun. We're going to do some grid work, personal grid work, but the personal grid work that you do, like Denise does, when she does a downloaded grid work and she puts it in that vortex or portal room or little meditation room, that place is humming. And you can do all that stuff. You can create these grids in your house. They're like power centers that you can call them Q sites, little energy vortexes where you're just in this bubble. And this is kind of like what we were talking about in the class last, building temples of light. These are zones that you are creating in your life and in your house. You can do it through the crystals. We can do it through our own inner grid system, our Cathara grid, our universal tree of life. That's what we're doing. We're building these things, and they're getting stronger and stronger. And then we bring in the crystalline kingdom, and things just start to get really magical,
I just
powerful.
I just did. Someone had me do a grid for someone, a personal grid for someone, which I may start offering for healing. And I went into meditation, I created a mandala for them. And it was so beautiful. It was all in these earth tones, actually, a lot with what I'm wearing. And then I went out and meditated and used all these crystals. And then when I went back and read, like I'm almost in another state, what they were and what I used, it was so spot on because I didn't want them to tell me too much before I did it because I didn't want to be, I wanted spirit to do the work and not my mind to be in it or their mind to be in it. So, um, and then I got a call from them saying, it's too powerful. I'm like, I'm not doing anything other than, you know, it's 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 spirit doing the work. So yeah. So anyway.
One of the things that we can do when we feel the energy is too much, there's too much power moving through us, the body's shaking too much. We always say ground, right? Um, take a shower, do some exercise, run up and down the yard, do wind sprints.
Wind sprints up and down your driveway many times. I'm
Yeah.
looking at them out the window,
But you can also work with it energetically. And when you start to work with your 12th dimensional grid beneath your feet, we call that Earth Star chakra. Sometimes it's 6 feet, people 6 inches beneath your feet. Sometimes people say it's a foot down beneath your feet. Whatever. When you start to connect into that, sometimes you can help to modulate that. And you can just call on your Christed self to help modulate that so that the energy moves up and down through. Maybe it needs to be opened a little bit more because it's constricted for whatever got constricted in your emotional body somehow. So you can start to work with that energy, pull it up through the earth and the grounding matter, but you're working at an energetic level. So just wanted to share that. Ready to do meditation? Is
I'm
there anything else?
ready. I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Let's see what the thank you for all for joining us on
Yeah.
this Thanksgiving
We're so
weekend. And
thankful to all the beautiful souls and all the amazing things. You get these memories that come up. I was like looking back at all the things we did this year with so many of you. It was like amazing, amazing what we've been able to co-create together. So thanks.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Shake it out a little bit. Shoulders, hips. Tap your toes a little bit. Clap your hands a little bit. Shake your fingers out, shake your toes out. Whatever vibrations are not flowing, just push them out of you right now. Just let the energy flow through your toes, through your fingers, through your crown, through your root. And then take a deep breath into your heart. Just pull at the energy like you're pulling it in through all of those energetic lines. Just breathing into your heart. And just hold in your heart for a second together. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, and just exhale. Breathing again to your heart. And you're charging in your heart. As you hold in your heart, there's like this energetic charging. You may feel the center point, secret space within your heart. You may feel that starting to magnify, magnetize, and then exhale. One more time. And that secret center space within your heart is now kind of coalesced into its own little magnetic field. Maybe it's the size of a pea, or maybe it's the size of a golf ball. Just feel that magnetic center of your heart space. And just to begin to just presence that, it's almost like you're holding it at the same time. You're holding it with your awareness, but you're also breathing into it. You may get a color. You just feel that color. You may feel the color of green there. You may feel a color of gold. You may even feel a color of silver. Just breathe into that emerald energy and allow that magnetic field within your heart become enlightened. And just to continue now to allow that prana to continue to enforce or strengthen the magnetic field of your heart. There's a vibrancy that comes with it. The colors become more solidified for you. But at the same time, I want you, as that's happening in breathing, just become aware of your energetic field, your auric field. Notice the egg, your aura. Maybe you do a little scan from the crown down, as if you had a vertical scanning of white light. Scan down through your auric field. And as you're moving down from your crown, through your eyes, pineal, down through your chin and neck, down to your shoulders, continue down through your heart, solar plexus, sacral, spine, tip of your spine, root, down to your legs, to your feet. Take it all the way down to 6 inches beneath your feet. And just feel your own, we call your Maharic shield, or your own personal Kathara grid, your own tree of life shield 6 inches beneath your feet. Notice as you plug into that vortex 6 inches beneath your feet, the silver white light is already present there in that chakra. Go ahead and picture a star tetrahedron or a Merkaba field there that you're kind of anchoring into now. And you might have yourself breathing through that Merkaba field, through that center point. And as you breathe into it, you may even notice a magnetic energy coalescing in the center of the field. And your whole auric field is as if your auric field is this silver white egg, and it's been anchored into this disc beneath your feet. And you've got this Merkaba, silver white Merkaba that's generating swirls of energy, pulling swirls of energy up through Mother Earth, down from your crown, soul star, galactic chakra 14, your 14th dimensional chakra, about 3.5 feet above your head, all coordinated from your own personal Maharic field, Kathara grid, 6 inches beneath your feet. And you'll notice how as you lock into that field and breathe through it, how your auric field is brightened, illuminated, becomes almost incandescent in this white, silver merge energy points. And just now, just continue to breathe through the earth chakra. And notice there's this vortex, spinning vortex that goes down to Mother Earth. And through it is your, what we call your Antahkarana, your higher mind. It's a silver white thread, goes all the way down into the core of Mother Earth. And I just want you to be able to presence it, to notice it. Is it fully opened? Is it the length or the cylinder, the size of maybe your first finger and thumb? Is it less than that? And you'll be able to modulate that energy just by pulling the energy up from Mother Earth, the silver white energy from the core, the crystalline core of Mother Earth, into your Earth Star chakra. You almost feel that tube vibrating or that tube opening or just the energy kind of moving up into that current from the earth. Is moving into your Earth Star chakra, your own personal Qatar grid. And there's like this exchange happening, this, you could call it a regenesis. That's what I'm kind of getting right now. It almost has also a kind of resurrection type of energy feel to it. But it's as if this link, this Antahkarana to the higher mind cylinder is communicating into the crystalline core, the diamond avatar, Christos frequencies of Mother Earth, communicating to your personal grid. And as you breathe up and down, prana moving the life force, moving the charge, the electrical charge, you're creating this feedback loop. You're charging up your own personal grid through the eternal source field of Mother Earth. Good. We're kind of anchored there now. Now you'll start to notice some pulsing happening at your lower spine, your coccyx region. And just tune into that pulsing. You may feel it at the very tip of your spine, your tailbone. You may feel it more kind of circling back around through your hips, back to your sacral. But we're just going to presence that energy right now. This is the silver white, like a hydroplasmic or a silvery, almost like a kind of a mercury feeling kind of energy that's just it's almost like a not plasticity moving through your tailbone. If you could kind of see or sense, you might even see the bones kind of becoming more like liquid light. You may even feel the charge is a little intense for you. You may feel like there's a burning happening there, but it's a very gentle burning. It's the intensity of the frequency realigning your spinal column, the DNA within the spinal column is receiving these Christos grids, pulses, and it's like a reformatting or re-encrypting at a DNA morphogenetic field level, this connection between your root chakra and your sacral chakra. Good. And you'll get to a place where it's not pulsing anymore, it's not moving anymore. It's almost like you can sit into it and it becomes still. Like you're sitting in a chair. And you're like centered in peace. Good. And then begin to breathe through your sacral chakra now, through your womb of creation. that little place, maybe an inch or two below your navel, all the way back to your spine. You may notice as you just breathe effortlessly through your womb of creation, do this belly breathing, you may notice the energies kind of pulling up through the spine into the back of your sacral chakra. And you'll maybe even notice it's illuminating the sacral chakra. You may feel the sacral chakra kind of turning into silver white light. Let's see if you can kind of sense the bow tie type of petals as the energy moves up into the center point of the bow tie. And this hydroplastic silver white light is just kind of funneling through that center point, and you might have this infinity loop turning on. You may feel the energies kind of moving back and forth. Some of us call it a Mobius tube, some call it an infinity or figure eight. Breathe that through the center point and just allow the frequency of the silver white 12th dimensional frequency to illuminate and charge up your infinity grid there within the womb of creation. And maybe you start to feel like a little fluttering happening. It's all good. You may feel the womb of creation's almost got an energetic, electromagnetic field around it. It's almost as if the silver white energy's outside and there's this golden energy on the inside surface of that sphere around the whole womb of creation, kind of moving out to the front of you, to behind you. And in the center is this infinity loop. Put your breathing energy into it, charging up the infinity symbol, the currents. And you may start to feel these currents. These petals are like sending out waves. It could be silver waves, it could be golden waves. But the waves are moving through the womb of creation and they're being kind of caught at the periphery of the sphere. There's like an inner sphere around the bow tie, and then there's this larger womb of creation sphere. Kind of moves down below your root chakra, behind your back, up into your solar plexus and back around the front to where your belly button is. And so you have this interaction happening between the sacral chakra itself and the womb of creation sphere around it. And you're just breathing energy up through the root, hydroplasmic energies moving up through the spine, into the bow tie, into the infinity loop. That's good. Just take a moment here, just take a couple breaths to let the communication to reach an equilibrium, a hydrostatic equilibrium. Good. You may even start to feel the back of your spine. The magnetics has now moved up, starting to move up into your solar plexus, the spine level, but at the same time, you're also feeling your third eye. Excellent. Presence both, just presence the energies at your third eye, just inside of your skull, just inside of your forehead, and the solar plexus, where they meet at the spine. Good. The energy is now kind of moved up into the solar plexus where it meets the spine. And just begin to breathe now through your solar plexus. You may start to feel the pump more now. It's almost like you're starting to give back to Mother Earth. You're pumping in the energy up through the spine into the solar plexus, receiving the energies from your heart into the solar plexus, and then you're kind of pumping them back down, exhaling back down through your personal grid at your feet down into the Mother Earth. And simultaneously, you're just charging up your solar plexus. And as you ground in your solar plexus, you may feel the energies becoming more tangible in your solar plexus. You may feel the currents running from your spine through your solar plexus. And as you ground in there, you'll notice the sympathetic resonance of your third eye also brightening and filling out. The sphere of your third eye becoming more tangible just through the action of breathing through your solar plexus. Just take a moment here just to continue to breathe through your solar plexus and ground these energies there. Good. Your solar plex energy has expanded now to the point where it's merged up into your heart. And the core of your heart, that core that we started with, and the core of the energies coming up from Mother Earth through your solar plexus, let them kind of communicate and breathe together. You're breathing in a way in which they merge. You're allowing the two energies to come into a coherence. You may even notice that the energy starts to move from breathing from your solar plexus to breathing through your heart. And as you breathe through your heart, you may notice the magnetics pulling the energy from the solar plexus up into your heart and into the spine behind your heart. And it's just kind of an awareness as you do that. There was a frequency fence between the third and fourth, but now you're between the solar plexus and heart, but you're kind of transcending the energy and you're kind of moving the energy up into your heart. So the crystalline frequencies of Mother Earth are energetically moving into your heart field, which we'd also know as our soul field. So begin to breathe through your heart, and you're going to feel the engagement of your lungs to become brighter, more filled with prana. It's as if they're hot air balloons, but not so hot, more energetic. filling up with these spirals of energy from your heart. And if we were to look inside of our heart field, inside of that silver green sphere, we would see our eternal flame and our threefold flame. Just presence, take a second to presence that threefold flame. You've got the pale violet. Breathe in the pale violet energy. And there's a pale yellow, pale gold. Breathe in that energy. Illuminate your silver white sphere. And you breathe in. It's a bluish. It's a blue. Yeah, it's kind of a blue energy. As you breathe that up into your, charging up your silver green sphere. You may notice the silver green sphere kind of becomes a electromagnetic field now. It's almost energies radiating out from it. It's like your heart has become like your, sometimes you can see those plasma balls where the plasma is coming off and sending out charges to the glass container around. Well, your heart is doing that now, sending out these plasma charges out into your auric field, like electric lightning. You may even be able to notice the electric charges that are going off of the heart field. You may notice them as that pale violet, pale yellow, pale blue. Your whole auric field is being informed with this static electromagnetic energy. I don't know why we call it static, because it seems like it's moving and charging. It's the oscillation, it's the vibration of the energy. Not literally static. Good. You feel the charges kind of move more fully up into your chest. You may feel it in your pecs or your breasts. You may feel it in your, moving up into your thymus. And the Kundalini energy is kind of moving up past the heart now, up into your throat. And you may feel like a tingling at the back of your throat. You may even feel that as kind of like a little, that tingling is like a disc, a vertical disc at the back of your head that kind of runs from your high heart in, up into your medulla oblongata. And then out through the front to your throat. There's also a current that kind of runs out through that same point diagonally downwards to your high heart. See if you can kind of notice that fan at the back of your throat coming a disc. And the disc is kind of almost behind your spine, moving up into your medulla oblongata. Also down into your, behind your high heart, behind your heart. Like this vertical force field. Right, just breathe into your high heart or breathe into your thymus or breathe into your throat. Allow the energies to kind of move into that disc, however you visualize it. Just allow the disc to expand and then exhale back out through all of those channels. Good. Just continue to breathe. You'll feel that disc illuminating and becoming more tingly, more tangible as electromagnetic fields. If you just visualize it, that's perfect. You may even feel the chakra at the back of your head, directly behind your pineal. See if you can focus on that opening. There's like an opening there at the back of your head, directly behind your pineal, third eye alignment. You start to breathe through that focus. It's like a nexus point, a 0 point field. Begin to breathe through that. What we want to do now is we want to take that disc that's centered horizontally behind our throat. It's almost as if you were to like take your right and left hands and reach behind your neck. You could almost grab onto this disc. It's the size of a disc that you see the discus people throw in those games, Olympic games. You could literally just kind of take it with your hands and move it up so that the center is no longer behind your throat, but it's behind your pineal gland. So we're just going to breathe into that field, that disc behind our throat. Breathe in through the high heart, through the throat. Charge up that disc, and then we're just going to gently just move it up behind our skull, behind our medulla. Okay? We're just waiting a second there's also an alignment happening now with your pineal gland. It's like a triangulation. It's also coming through your third eye, so that that point is illuminated for you more behind your head. We're just kind of waiting for that nexus point to be more illuminated, more tangible for us. You can almost feel when that becomes tangible, there's like a vertical track that goes behind your throat to that point behind your head. And we're just going to lift that disc up. So breathing in now. Holding that disc in our awareness, and then just gently up that track, just move it up behind your head. Exhale and move it down. Good. Just begin to breathe. You may notice you're breathing through that nexus point now, and that the conduit through your third eye, through your pineal, is fully opened or illuminated. It's like a horizontal tube. Again, it's about the size of your finger thumb. It's moving horizontally back into that disc, and you're just breathing through the disc. It's as if you're breathing, and the disc itself is illuminating and expanding as you inhale energy, prana into it. Exhale energy through it. And as you do that, just kind of notice how the energy field fills out, how the disc feels out. Good. There's all kinds of triangulations happening right now. So just continue to breathe. Into this disc, the silver white energy. And begin to just presence the silver white energy coming up through the Antahkarana, through Mother Earth, as it encompasses the disc, the back of your head, and also the energy that's coming in through your third eye, through the pineal, creating this cross section of two tubes, both meeting and holding this disc behind your head. And when you get that triangulation, and you feel the tubes around the disc, you might feel that disc start to become a sphere. As it becomes to fill out as a sphere, you'll notice it also resonates with your heart field. The silver white. Threefold flame of your eternal heart field. Good. The energy is kind of flowing up now. Feels like it's kind of locked into place for all of us. Now the energy is just kind of flowing up through the pineal to the center of your brain, up through your crown. Just feel the energy tingling at your crown. It's already fully opened, and just allow the energy of this tube from Mother Earth to kind of fill up into your soul star chakra. And you may feel some communication happening between the sphere at the back of your head and the soul star sphere above your head. There's a triangulation happening there as well. And both of them are being filled out from the inside out with prana, with life force, with hydroplasmic currents of your 12D silver white avatar Christos self. And as that soul star becomes more plastic or placidic. Plastic's not plastic, it's flexible. Becomes more illuminated, and then just move that sphere all the way up to your 14th chakra above your head. Take a deep breath in, and then gently caress it upwards. 2 feet, 3 feet, 3.5. Just see it being received by our Christos avatar self, Kristalla, Divine Mother self. It's as if she's just gently holding it for you, allowing you to breathe and assimilate exactly what you can take in right now. And as you synchronize with the energies here, you're also breathing. It's like the breathing is helping you pranic harmonize and synthesize the right amount of frequency and energies for you. So you're breathing through your universal chakra. And as you do so, you'll notice you're pulling up the current or the energy from the core of Mother Earth. These Christos silver white frequencies are pulling them fully up through your light body into your crown and into your soul star and into your universal chakra. I'm just going to sit here for a second to allow this integration to happen and see if you can simultaneously hold the Christos 3.5 above your feet, but also bring your awareness back into your body now, into your heart field and into your spine, into your own personal grid, into your own auric field, your own electromagnetic field, and just notice how you're connected below and above, and how you're being informed and receiving and anchoring into your third dimensional body. You need to feel your lungs now as you breathe through your lungs. When you feel you've landed back into your core, into your body, slowly opening your eyes. Hands in namaste at your heart, grounding the energies in your brain and in your heart, bowing to your higher self, your Christos self, for inviting us to the party. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.